Lou Shilmu, everyone. Today, I'll be making an Akkadian breakfast dish, a barley-based porridge first identified at the site of Mari in Syria. This dish can be prepared in two distinct ways, one for everyday meals, and another seemingly for religious occasions. In any case, let's take a look at the world that was. To begin with, we'll need to prepare some date syrup. This is done by reusing some older footage because my camera's battery died while I was filming and didn't notice until it was too late. But seriously, first, you'll need to roughly chop about a cup's worth of dates before placing them into a small saucepan. Fill the saucepan up with water and place onto a medium-high heat. Bring this to a rolling boil. When it hits a boil, turn the heat down until it simmers and leave it alone for about 5 to 10 minutes until the water evaporates a bit and the mixture thickens. While this date syrup is cooking, go get a larger pot. Into this, put about 3/4 of a cup of barley flour. Then, add some liquid in. Water or milk would have been used by the Assyrians when making this, depending on what was available, but for this I'll be using cow's milk. But you could just as easily use water, sheep, or goat's milk even. Whatever you use, pour about 2 cups of your liquid into the pot with the flour and mix it together. When this is mixed together, put it onto a medium heat, bring it to a simmer, and keep stirring it. If you're using milk, you need to be particularly careful that the milk doesn't curdle. If it looks like it's becoming a little curd-like, quickly take it off the heat and keep it stirring so it cools down. In any case, keep the stirring for about 10 minutes, scraping the glue-like sediment at the bottom of the pot as you go. Do this until the mix starts to kind of smooth out and take on a more uniform consistency, kind of like this. Take it off the heat and then go add your date syrup. As you can see here, my syrup was a little watery, so if you're doing this at home, I'd recommend you let this boil and reduce a bit further. Add a small amount of syrup to the pot and then mix to combine. For the day-to-day dish, it's done. Serve this up as is in a small bowl. On its own, it's fairly bland but quite filling. You're essentially eating just liquid bread at this point. But to improve it, I'd recommend you make the form of Sasqu that's used on religious occasions. For this, I'd simply recommend chopping some dates and scattering them across the top of your Sasqu. You could take this a step further and even stew the dates whole as they're cooking. Also, to garnish, you can grind up some nuts into a fine powder and sprinkle over the top of the dish. For this, I'm using some pistachios that I had left over. In comparison to the simpler dish, this is a huge improvement in terms of taste and appearance. The texture is greatly enhanced by mixing everything together before eating it, and the difference between the two dishes is honestly like night and day. You can really see why the fancier dish would have probably only been eaten on special occasions. I hope you all enjoyed this look at the world that was.